What's up, guys? It's your boy, the Piscean Predator. I'm back with some TPP, True Crime Talk, and we on day 17 of this Alex Murdaugh Trial. And it picked up right where it left off yesterday with that little stunt the judge pulled at the end of the day. Go ahead and reversing his verdict or his decision verdict, his whatever, on whether or not to allow the roadside incident in. So today we went in with that energy, and it kept. Right, so we got to hear from the lead forensic. I mean, I don't even know what you want to call him. The dude had so many titles. He's like a doctor, a professor, a detective. Dude is certified in everything, like forensics. So this guy gets up on on, on the fucking stand, and dude, my goodness, his breakdown of the forensics and the whole description that he gave of everything was, dude, it was intense. It was intense. It brought some reality back to the fact of what happened. I think we get caught up in like all the details and like trying to look for things that are wrong, that you kind of forget about what actually happened to those two people. And dude, it was devastating. And it was devastating in a way that it made me feel like this wasn't a hit. This was not a drug gang, cartel, whatever type of hit. That was not what this is. The description of these murders, like, to me, if it was a cartel hit or something like that would be execution style. Like, I don't think that I don't think the shot placement would be what it is. I don't see it that way. I think they would have been just lined up and executed. That's how it works. Especially in that setting, having them out in the middle of nowhere, which also makes it just doesn't make sense, because how the hell would they'd even know? How would anybody know they were going to be out there? And why would they go after them? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you can make an argument for it still, but it really doesn't make any sense, especially when you hear of the nature of the killings. The nature of the killings, to me, like, in my head, that sounds like two victims that were shot by somebody that shot by somebody. Didn't mean to laugh. I was just shooting this video outside, and my mailman just straight dang ran over my neighbor's trash can trying to deliver the mail. It's classic. But anyways, it seems like they were shot by somebody that they knew, because it's like they were, I mean, comfortable enough with the person that the person got within that kind of distance to them. But then it was like, once they were being attacked, they had no chance to really get away, react, but like enough time to react in a way to where the shot placement is just, it's not a shot placement of like a hit, like an actual, like a hit, like, it just doesn't. It's, to me, it sounds like somebody getting shot by somebody they know, and as it's happening, they're trying to react, but there's no time. And the fact that they're trying to react tells me that it's not a hit. They're not being assassinated. They're not being set down traditionally way and done, which is what's going to happen. Because anybody that's going to put that hit on like that to make sure the job's done, they're going to control them. They're going to tell them what to do with the guns, and it's going to be a clean kill, right? And then on top of that, like, not only how would somebody know they were out there, like, who's going to show up with no gun? Who's going to show up with no gun and hope to find guns there to use? And then, like, we have a missing blackout, 300 blackout that's used. And then the other shotgun that was used is literally the same caliber as a gun that's on that premises already. So it just, man, to me, it sounds like he did it. It really does. And like, I mean, we could break down the psychological reasons why, but I think I've done that in the last videos. Like, basically, his empire's crumbling. He was losing everything, and then, like, they haven't covered in this case yet, but it's hard to just state the facts. But even if I say the facts, though, the ring in the car, finding her ring in the car after the fact, that tells me something was off, man. Something was off. He had cheated like 15 years ago, and yeah, that was 15 years ago. But think about it. How long did he commit these crimes? These high level money crimes. Like, these financial crimes are insanely huge, and they ran for a really long time. So who's to say, yeah, he cheated like 15 years ago, but who's to say he wasn't doing that shit on the side? And who's to say that's not where some of that money went? You know what I mean? Because, like, think about it, dude. $50,000 a week for a pill problem? Bro, come on, dude. Anybody from our generation knows some roundabout prices on that shit, and even on the high, that is insane. That's insane. That makes 0 cents. Absolutely zero cents for a pill problem. $50,000 a week on a pill problem? No, that sounds more like $50,000 a week on a pill and probably a woman side piece problem. Come on, tell me, like, these high earners, these type of gentlemen that are in this bracket of life that have that much power. This is kind of par for the course. Like, they do this type of thing. So it's like, all of a sudden his wife, and she's never felt good about the whole thing. She never really said anything to her sister about thinking that he was still doing it, but she still didn't feel good about it after 15 years. So think about it, after 15 years, she don't feel good about it still. And then all this other shit's going on, and she's finding out these things about, getting sued for, millions and millions of dollars. And it's just, yeah. And I mean, she told that to the housekeeper or their friend, their assistant, that they were getting sued for 30 mil. So it's like, she gets sued for 30 mil. She knows they're about to lose everything. She's stressed out on all that. She has this husband that she's never really felt comfortable with after he did his thing. Has a son that has to, like, watch her husband for popping pills. It's just, think about it, man. Like, this dude was literally going to lose everything. And, like, yeah. So he killed his son. That was the problem for his empire crashing. And then he probably couldn't stand to even think of his wife going on without him. Like, I can't have her, and the world isn't going to have her. I mean, think about it, dude. That's happened before. This has been the psychology for people doing crazy shit before. It's not that far out of there. It's not that far out there. So, anyways, all right. So, off of that tangent of that aspect, and then we got to also hear some side of the road. So they brought the detective up that dealt with that case, and then they played the interview or the phone, like all of it for that type of the whole side of the road situation. So basically we got to hear all about it, right? All the details of basically the 911 call, his interviews, what he initially said, like the initial story, and then him having to come out and recant it all, and then him literally saying in the whole recant at the end, right, when he's busted and he's like giving the truth of what happened, and he's apologizing, he straight says, I wasn't in a good place. It wasn't in a good place. I don't think he was in a good place for a while, right? I don't think he was in a good place for a while. I think he snapped. He did what he did to his wife and his son. He was even in a worse place. Probably realized the farther he got into that, like, oh my goodness, I'm screwed. And then he has the whole discussion, little altercation with his buddy on the front porch. And then, realizes, like, I'm screwed on this money. I screwed my friend. He knows I screwed him. I just had to admit to it all. Like, everything's falling apart. And then, like, all of a sudden, later that day, like, he's shot in the head with this wild, like, conspiracy that he set up. Dude. And we know he did that. So he did that. We know he did that. We know he stole millions and millions of dollars. We know he had a pill problem. And we know he had a side piece 15 years ago. And who knows, in between. Because I'm telling you, 50,000 sound more like a drug and a side piece problem to me. I don't know. Because it's not like this dude was out partying. Like, usually when you have a drug problem and you're spending that much money, you're like out doing drugs with people and partying, and or like, you know what I mean? It's like a different lifestyle. He was living a family lifestyle. How do you spend 50K on drugs a week with a family in a family setting? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. And it's crazy too, because I've been watching the polls, the percentage on the polls, guilty, hung jury, this and that. And dude, at first it like guilty was really high, and it started dropping fast. And it got down to a pretty low level, but today it was funny watching it creep back up today, because I'm telling you, like, the pendulum has swung, and it looks like the prosecution, it looks like they're gonna be able to pull this off, in my opinion, because if that's today was the best the defense is gonna do on being able to try to refute any of the evidence. Like, that's the thing, is they can't refute the most important stuff. They can, like, the minute details of like gunshot trajectories where somebody was standing, that doesn't matter. That really doesn't matter. Where the person was shooting, it literally doesn't matter, because one, somebody shot them. It was not a murder-suicide, because you're not shooting yourself twice with a shotgun the way that Paul was shot. It's not happening. It's not happening. And then, like, the way that his mother was shot, no. If he was gonna murder-suicide, guarantee it would have been like one of those fucking pop, mom didn't even see it coming, there's no way for her to run, one shot, done, and then he goes and does the same to himself, one shot, 2 shots total. Dude, there was way too many shots fired for it to be a murder-suicide, so that shit does not, that don't make sense. And then, like, I'm having a hard time seeing 2 people do it, right? 2 people, just 2 random people. So the only way I can see if 2 people did it is if he paid 2 people to come do it. But I'm telling you, by now, if he had paid 2 people to do it, with how stupid he is with crime, like, we would know who those 2 people are by now. Like, 100% we would know. So I'm not buying that, man. I'm just not. Now, I can't break down the exact sequence of all the events that happened that day, but we do know the important facts that he was on the property with his son that day. He was on the property with his wife and his son that day at the kennels. And then we know that all the facts or alibi or whatever you want to call it that he tried to give, like, all of it is bullshit. Like, there's so much of it has been debunked, and it's crazy. So, I mean, yeah, this case is getting good, man. So I'm anxious for tomorrow. It sucks because this thing's going so long that over the weekend I get like all fiend out for like trial. Freaking true crime nerd. But anyways, guys, that's what's popping. Day 17, the Alex Murdaugh case. I don't think it's looking good for him. I think the tides have turned. The prosecution's about to roll over him, I do believe. But yeah, man, I hope y'all having a good one. If you can, give your boy a like, a subscribe, hit me up in the comments, let me know what you think about the video. Until next video, much love. It's your boy, the Piscean Predator, and I'm out. Peace.